Michael Joseph Miloni, GMG2. Went to boot camp in August of 1969. Made it through boot camp. Took a 1 month leave of absence just to settle myself down and get all my stuff in order. I was then assigned to an ocean-going minesweeper, MSO, can't remember the number right offhand, but it was the USS Esteem. I want to say 438, but I could be wrong. Spent about a year, maybe a little over a year on that. I asked in order to be transferred to someplace because I wanted a little more experience in the different types of ammo and guns and that sort of things. Because being on an ocean-going minesweeper, you have small arms, 50 calibers, and 40 millimeters, and that's it. I wanted to get into the big guns, the 5-inch 38s, maybe even bigger than that. But I was shipped to Hawaii and hooked up with the U.S. Lloyd Thomas DD-764. I was gunner's mate at that time. I was a GMG3, and learned all the routines about, servicing the guns, how they worked, propulsion, fire control, all that good stuff. There was a lot of people on the ship, but the ship wasn't big enough that you didn't know everybody on the ship. So camaraderie was, pretty good. You got to talk to the fire control technicians, the radio men, the radar men, the machinist mates, and all those people. So we got a good concept of how the ship operated and where things were and who was the good guys to go talk to. So I maintained the gun. We had 2 Westpac cruises that we went on, one in 70 and then one in 72. The one in 72 is probably the worst one we had because we actually got fired at. Being one of the oldest ships in the Navy that was out in the Vietnamese theater, the bigger ships, cruisers and DDEs and stuff like that, they said, yeah, why don't you run up to the shore as close as you can get and see if you can draw any fire over, which was like, what? You want us to do what? So we did. We got about a mile and a half off the coast, and we're screaming right along. I mean, we were almost at full speed and everything, and all of a sudden, bam, the shore battery hit the front of our ship. Luckily, it only hit the chief's quarters because there was a lot of shrapnel damage and stuff like that. If it had been a little bit lower, it might have hit the forward magazine, which would have been detrimental to our ship. But we lucked out. We had to spend some R&R time off the line and go into Da Nang Harbor, which was another scary thing. We're standing ready at the 50 calibers as we're going up the river to dock in Da Nang so we could get a big old plate put on the front of our ship, because we were definitely not seaworthy at that time. And so that was one of our biggest skirmishes. We did that twice. Next time we were out to sea, we had a situation where we had MiGs come over. And being in a hydro-mechanical gun mount, which it has a lot of centrifugal force, but it doesn't move really fast. So everybody just had to hold on because the director radar system on top of the ship is an Amphidyne system and moves a lot faster than us. So as it's whipping around to get targeted for the MiGs that are coming in, everybody in the gun mount is hanging on because it was a ride, real good ride. Had a good crew. We spruced up our guns. I even got an award for taking care of the preventive maintenance and stuff that I did on the ship in order to keep us battle ready. I never missed an opportunity to fire our guns, and the guns were always ready to fire. I had such a good crew in there that the average rounds per minute is about 12, maybe 13. We were doing 15 and 16 rounds a minute. And when the guns were firing both at the same time, and which is kind of odd because the loaders sometimes don't always, you know, do the same thing, but it was like clockwork in there. So I was really appreciative. I've got a nice certificate of appreciation for that one too. So then after that, they decommissioned the USS Lloyd Thomas, and I ended up back on another minesweeper. So come full circle, that I was discharged, and actually I had to extend for a couple of months or so because I had gotten the GMG2. They said, yeah, you're like 2 months short, so they extended me for 2 months. I didn't get out till October of 1973, and I went home.